Good morning. Beyond the Booth, recording Friday, November 14th. Terrence Newman, John Ramey, ahead of Nevada's Saturday, tomorrow, 12:30 kickoff against San Jose State in a Mountain West clash here in northern Nevada. Terrence, San Jose State, a team that we really liked at the beginning of the season, has lost some close games. They're 3-6 overall. They're 2-3 in the conference. They're 0-4 on the road. They've had two kickers attempt and miss field goals this season. So it's been kind of up and down for Ken Niumatalolo, who had a long tenure as head coach at Navy before coming to San Jose State. He's now in his 7th season. What do you see from the Spartans? I know you've got a 6-pack of players to watch.
You're right. Coming into the season, I think we were both pretty high on San Jose State. I know I was really high on San Jose State. I thought, I thought they were going to be contenders in the conference this year. Their record, you're right. There's a lot of close losses in there. There's a lot of heartbreak in there. They could easily have a couple more wins than what they have. They have a very high-powered offense, but it's a very unbalanced offense.
They throw.
They look like what you think of when you think of Hawaii. That when you break down statistically, they're second in total yards in the conference with 451.3 a game. First in pass though, with 323.6 per game. 11th in rush with 118.8 per game. So this is old school whack run and shoot football. But the real Achilles heel for them this year, another part of the reason why they haven't won as many games as we thought they would, the defense just really hadn't shown up this year. It's been...
Wait, you're not just going to exclusively blame kickers like I am?
I'm not going to exclusively blame kickers.
I'm being facetious.
As one of my old high school coaches used to say, I hate for my boys to play hard all day just so some communist soccer player can ruin the game for them. But I would love how he would distinguish my boys and the communist soccer player. Like he was not part of the team. But honestly, what has been their Achilles heel this year, to go along with the lack of running game, is the defense has just been bottom half of the conference. They're 8th in total yards allowed with 420. But where they really get torched is they are 11th in pass yards allowed per game. They give up 280 yards on the 81 yards in the air. They are 5th, so they're a little bit better against the rush and rush yards with 139. But they give up points. They give up a lot of points. They're 9th in points allowed, 29.9 yards per game. So as I break down, what they do well, where they struggle, and what Nevada strengths are, this should be a fun game for our boy Dylan LaBarbera. This should be a fun game for Maldonado, the guys up front. They're going to get a lot of opportunities to rush the quarterback because San Jose State's gonna take a lot of snaps, and if we're gonna have any shot, we're gonna have to pressure the quarterback. The guys up front, even if they're not getting sacks, they're gonna have to be getting in Walker Eggett's face. They're gonna have to be making him feel uncomfortable, make him move around the pocket. Because if he can sit back in the pocket, he can pick you apart. He'll pick you apart.
Terrence, Walker Egett is 60% completion rate, 217 or 362. He's thrown for almost 3,000 yards. He has the most yardage coming into the weekend of any passer in FBS.
Yes.
And he's thrown 17 touchdowns against only 5 interceptions.
Yes. So, and he's one of those, I believe he's got a chance to play on Sundays. Because he's big body, big frame, smart kid. I wouldn't be shocked if we look up 5 years from now and he's, caught a nice cup of coffee in the league, maybe stuck around as a backup for a few years because he's got a live arm like that. But so we got to pressure the quarterback. They got to make him feel uncomfortable. They got to make him throw under pressure. And honestly, if we can't pass on this team, then we just can't pass. We just can't pass the ball because this is It's them and Air Force. This is the two worst teams in the Mountain West against the pass.
And
So this
Nevada's not
this
playing Air Force.
no, and they're not playing Air Force. So this is it. This is the gut check time. Either if you cannot throw the ball against them, you can't throw the ball against anybody. So those are the two keys. Get to the quarterback and hopefully get some sort of positive momentum from our quarterback play. So let's go over six players you need to keep an eye out for. We already talked about him. Starts with Walker Eggett. He's the senior quarterback, like you said, 2,941 yards, 17 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Leads the Mountain West in yards.
Yeah.
Leads the conference in yards. Just strong arm, big body, makes right decisions. Honestly, if the team was a little bit better record-wise, he'd be getting more hype as Mountain West Conference Offensive Player of the Year. He's been that good. Even still, I'd say he's probably on track for an all-conference spot, either first or second team. And he's got a trio of receivers. Really, they got a quartet. You can throw in their tight end if you want. He's a pretty solid guy too. But it all starts with Danny Scudero,
number
wide
10
receiver, sophomore. Just like Walker, not only does he lead the Mountain West in receiving yards, he leads the country in receiving yards with 68 receptions, 1,126 yards, 10 TDs. He's not the biggest guy, but he's a real good athlete. He's got a little Cooper Kupp to him.
Okay.
Got a little Cooper Kupp to him. Really great at running routes. Like you said, he's not the biggest. He's probably only about 5'9", but his route running is precise. He's a real good athlete. And then he's got a couple other really good wide receivers to go with him. Kyrie Scholes, wide receiver. He's a junior. 52 receptions, 680 yards, 2 TDs. And then you got Leland Smith, another junior. 37 receptions, 643 yards, 3 TDs. So you can't key in on anybody. If you want to say, hey, we're going to double team Danny, San Jose State's going to go, sure. We got 2 other guys that are going to torch you. When you look,
just for perspective, Kyrie Scholes 4 and 1 Leland Smith, both those receivers are having by far the best receiving year on the Wolfpack if you put them on the Pack roster.
Oh, you want to put some perspective?
Yeah.
That is 3 of the top 6 wide receivers in the Mountain West Conference in receiving yards this year. That is they have half of the top 6 receivers in receiving yardage.
It's pretty good.
That is pretty good. But you can have that because they don't run the ball. They really do not have a running game to speak of.
So you're handicapping it a little bit.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we got a couple guys as weak as the defense has been.
No. Coach Jeff Choate said in his Monday presser, he goes, look, there are more NFL guys on the San Jose State defense than any other team in the conference except for San Diego State. He said that.
You know what? He's not crazy. There are some talent there. It hasn't coalesced. I don't know if I said that right.
No, you did. Yeah.
It hasn't gelled together, but individually there is a lot of talent. Jordan Pollard, linebacker, senior, out of Los Angeles, a little undersized, but he's hard nosed. 71 tackles, 2.5 sacks. And they got a cornerback, senior Jalen Boehner, 36 tackles, 3 interceptions, 1 sack. They only have 6 interceptions as a team. He's got half of them. So that's one other guy that whoever's playing quarterback for the Pack, you're gonna want to know what side of the field Jalen Boehner's on, and you're probably gonna be thrown to the opposite side.
That's 15 on the Spartan defense, Boehner.
Yeah, and that is my San Jose State 6-pack of players to watch this week.
All right. Okay, cool. You'll be on sidelines for our broadcast that starts at 11:30 tomorrow. On 105.7 FM KOZZ. Also, programming note, Jory Choate, Jeff Choate's son, is also a guitar player, singer, songwriter like me. And we are going to do a 30-minute acoustic set at the tailgate zone, the Bud Light tailgate zone, with biggest little stage.com running the sound in the show. And so
Is
that'll start
tomorrow?
at tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I
So
didn't
we're
know
going to go
this.
from, yeah, we're going at 11. We'll go to 11:30. Then you, me, and Mike will do our, you, Mike, and I, you, Mike, and me, you, Mike, and I will do our little preview for the crowd. And then we'll hightail it up for the rest of the Bud Light tailgate show. So, yeah, Terrence, it's like old days back when I used to produce
Like playing the
UCLA
Rose
football
Bowl,
and
yes.
play the 3 hour pregame set at the
Yes.
tailgate zone of the Rose Bowl. So we're dusting off some of the old playbook. But yeah, Jory Choate, Jeff Choate's son, is a picker, six string
Soon to
guy,
be former
singer.
college stadium, the Rose Bowl.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Yeah, I don't want to get
I
started
have
on it
I
either. I
have
hate
so
it.
many I have so many spicy takes, and they all involve moral condemnation. And I don't think people tune into Wolfpack football for my moral condemnation. At
I
least
just,
not primarily. All right,
I just
so
think
that's it.
I'm just gonna say UCLA football at SoFi is gonna look a lot like UNLV. NFL Stadium half empty.
All right, Terrence. Here's my take. SoFi should never have been built. The two greatest stadiums in the history of the sport already existed in Los Angeles. The NFL should have just made those two work. But I understand nobody consulted with me, and it's revenue over everything. So they tore down Hollywood Park, and they built. I'm still mad about that as
Because
a horse track.
John likes to bet on the ponies.
It's like once a decade. I never get, but because Hollywood Park is gone, it's harder to get to Santa Anita there anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my spicy take. All right, I want to get to your because you had some sage wisdom for Nevada football in the medium term, short and medium term future, and this week you're back with a little bit of maybe. I guess it's just your kind of your consultant take on the short, medium term future of the Mountain West, which of course is undergoing quite a roster change at the end of the academic calendar this year.
Yeah, we it's a time of transition. Um it feels like in like the chatter in the podcasting world, because we're in the season, that has kind of been put on the back burner. A lot of people have not
Sure.
really been talking about it, but it's a couple more games left in the season, and then the split happens, and we're in New Mountain West, and so I figured, yeah, let's take a look at it, and let's see where we're at, and flesh out some ideas of where and what this conference can do to not just maintain but to grow and thrive in its new iteration. Um, so let's just take a quick overview of what the new Mountain West is. Um, 8 all sport members. Okay, you have Hawaii, Nevada, San Jose State, UNLV, Wyoming, Air Force, New Mexico, and the newest member, UTEP.
That's for all your sports.
That is for all your sports. That is your core 8, because that's the important thing. You need 8 all sports teams to be an NCAA conference. So that's the core right there. Now we got 2 non-football playing schools that we've added in Grand
Davis.
Canyon and UC Davis.
Yeah.
And UC Davis I love the add of UC Davis because nobody really wants to say it out loud, but it's your UNLV insurance. If UNLV gets a little gets a little big for their britches and feels like the new Mountain West isn't for them, if an opportunity comes along, say a few years from down the road, and they have a chance to maybe get in the Big 10,
Big
Big
12.
12 or ACC,
It's going to be the Big 12.
it probably be most likely the Big
Academic
12.
fit.
Yeah, yes. I definitely don't see them with Stanford and Cal. That's for
And
sure.
Duke.
Yeah. So yeah, UC Davis is kind of that insurance because they're joining in all sports but football, and so they're taking these next few years to kind of ramp up and get not so much the program, because their football program is really good right now. They're 7-2, 5-1 in the Big Sky, ranked 10th in the FCS. But mostly just these next few years to get their facilities and all of that stuff up to par, up to snuff. And so You got them, and you got Grand Canyon, and so that gives you 10 basketball playing schools, and then you
Grand
got
Canyon has great facilities, by the way.
yes, great
Grand
facilities.
Canyon is I mean, the only
Money
black mark
money
on
is
Grand
not a
Canyon.
problem at
Yeah.
Grand Canyon
No, the
University.
only problem with not a problem, but the only consideration with Grand Canyon is no football. But they have a
Yeah,
great basketball fan base. They have a great facility, have great baseball
really
facilities,
good,
good
really good.
baseball program.
I believe they have really good soccer too.
Yeah.
And I don't
Yeah.
know how well, soccer doesn't move the needle in college sports, but they're good at it. And
No,
then
but it's better to be good than bad.
bad. There's your quote of the day from John
Yeah.
Ramey, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
and then uh and then we got one football only school in NIU, Northern
Have you?
Illinois.
I've been to DeKalb for a basketball game a long
Have you?
time ago. I don't remember anything.
I don't think I've ever been to DeKalb, but I believe it's pretty much like a suburb of Chicago,
It's
right?
about an hour west.
Okay. Yeah. So you're in the Chicago market, you're in the Chicago area, the greater
Yeah,
Chicago area.
sure.
They're Cubs and
It's
they're
not
Cubs and
St.
Bulls
Louis.
fans. It's not St.
Yeah,
Louis, yeah.
sure. Yeah, right. Right. It's Cubs and Bulls fans. That's right.
Yeah. Okay, so that's where we stand. That's where we stand right now. Eight all sport members, 9 football, 10 basketball. 9 teams is not a sustainable amount.
For football?
There's no, you're really at your bare minimum.
Who we adding? New Mexico State?
Well, we're gonna have to add somebody. We're
So
gonna
you
speculate a little bit
so
on that, but we're gonna have
okay,
to
so
add
Terrence,
somebody.
so you truly believe the Mountain West has to get to 10 football members?
Well, here's the thing. I'm just taking a look at their peers. If we're trying to keep up with the Joneses, where are the other group of 5 conferences at? You got the
I love
AAC.
I
They're
love
at
that you're giving this thought. This is great.
well, just
Yeah.
we're trying to position ourselves here. You got the AAC. They have 14 schools. You have the Sun Belt Conference. They have 14 schools.
Right.
You have the MAC. They have 12. Even with them losing NIU, they added UMass, so they stay at 12 schools. Conference USA is the only conference that's kind of going in the wrong direction. They were at 12. They're going back down to 10 because UTEP is coming to us, and then
Hmm.
La Tech is going to the Sun Belt to replace Texas State, who's going to the new pack. So but you get the trend here. Everybody
Yeah.
else is in double digits, and then you got the Pac-12 at 8, and you got the Mountain West at 9. Um,
There is a simple solution.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
I
It's
believe
all
we
right.
had that pod a couple years ago.
People who bill much higher per hour than us are working on that.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, you can see the range there is in that 12 to
Yeah, that's a
14.
sweet spot.
That's
Well,
the sweet spot.
you mentioned the Sun Belt having 14, and I'm like, ooh, now the Sun Belt, am I wrong? Is the Sun Belt kind of probably in the new non-autonomous conferences? They're kind of the best one? Maybe not without Texas State.
I mean the American
Yeah.
and the new pack at the top level.
I refuse
At
to
the
even think
top,
about the pack, but yes.
yeah, at the top level, if you're saying just like
Okay.
their top 4 schools, those are probably the 2 at the top.
Right, but
But from
organizationally, yeah. The Mountain
and
West doesn't
and
want to emulate 8
and
teams with the
no,
Pac-12. Yeah.
no, but
Yeah.
in terms of like stability, uh, I think forever the MAC was kind of like the conference
Sure.
of stability, just because where were they going to go? But and the Sun Belt was kind of like the conference of transition, where teams would be coming, go
Sure.
in and out.
Yeah.
And in a weird way, the Sun Belt has really solidified itself. They've got a core group of schools that it seem to know who they are. They're happy where they are, and they're playing pretty good football. It is a really competitive conference right now. Um, so yeah, that's where we want to get. We want to get
Okay.
somewhere in that 12 to 14. 10 I'd say is the minimum you want to be at. Maybe 16 is at the maximum, but I think 12 is actually kind of the perfect number. Now, because here's the thing, we're selling content, John.
Tell me about it.
That's what football is. That's what college sports is. That's where the media deal money comes from. It is content. And it's 2 things really. You got quality. Either you're selling quality, that's your hook, or you got quantity. And that's your hook. It might not be the best, but we got a lot of it. And so the Mountain West needs to build up their quantity of content that they have to sell, but also they need to up the quality of that content too, because we lost some of the quote unquote better schools or more marketable TV friendly schools. And so there's a little bit of a gap that they need to replace. Now, as you look at the conference, it's kind of funny. You basically got two teams on an island, one figuratively and one literally. You got Hawaii literally on an island, and then you got Northern Illinois, which is kind of figuratively on an island out there in the Midwest by themselves. And really, if you wanted to add an all sports member, because you have Hawaii on out there on that island, it kind of hamstrings you. You really don't want to add an all sports member beyond the mountain time zone. It doesn't make
Right, because that's
sense.
just so far
It's
for
asking
Hawaii
too much
soccer.
to
Yeah,
send, gymnastics and soccer and anything
yeah.
else beyond that. And as you look at that landscape, there really is only one FBS school in the West that you could pick up in all sports, and they kind of are the redheaded stepchild of FBS football in the Southwest, and that is New Mexico State.
Las Cruces, baby.
Um, but it seems pretty obvious that right now there's not really any interest for New Mexico State. New Mexico might have something to do with that. So we're gonna put them on the back burner.
Okay.
We're not thinking of New Mexico. So
New Mexico State. Got it.
New Mexico State, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
So if you don't have any all sports members that you can add, we need to go back to the model that's kind of worked for us, which I think would be to try to add a couple of more football only schools in the Midwest area, built up around Northern Illinois, who you have on that island, and then offset them with a couple of more non-football playing schools on the West Coast.
Okay,
Very,
so
very,
you
very
want to
accessible for Hawaii.
okay. All right, so you want to poach for non-football Irvine, Long Beach, Santa Barbara.
Well, right now, my model
Right.
right now, well,
I'm thinking about your best Big West schools, non-football on the West Coast. Right? I'm warm, aren't I?
You're pretty warm.
Yeah.
You're pretty
Okay.
warm.
And then for your football only schools, I think you've got to go back to poach the MAC, right?
John, you been looking at my notes?
No.
So
Carry on.
I think 12 teams is the sweet spot for right now. The next move, the next jump, I think 12 teams is what we're going to. I like the idea of splitting 12 teams into a 3-4 team pod or division, just basically for scheduling reasons. We're going to build these pods.
Would this be for football or
football.
non-football?
This would be for football, just for football. And so the teams in your pod, these are the teams you are going to play every year, no matter what. And then the rest of your conference schedule will be a rotation of the other teams in this pod.
So who would be in Nevada's pod? UNLV,
that would
San
be the
Jose
Pacific
State.
pod.
Yeah.
So you're going to have UNLV and Nevada. We're going to have those two rivals are going to stick together. And we're going to stick with San Jose State. And we're gonna try to build up a rivalry here. San Jose State's rivalry game is going to be Hawaii from going forward.
I think that's a great pod.
So that's your Pacific pod right there. That's your 4.
Love it.
Those 4 schools will play each other every year.
Every year. Great.
And then the rest of your conference will be a rotation of the rest of these schools. You have the Mountain Pod, Wyoming, Air Force, New Mexico, UTEP. You look on a map, those schools are basically all right in a row, right there in the Mountain Time Zone. Another reason why we're doing it like this, we are trying to build up some more rivalries. We're gonna try to get New Mexico and Utah. Try to get that a rivalry. That's gonna be your rivalry week game. We're gonna try to get Air Force and Wyoming and try to see if we can fill the shoes of what the Colorado State Wyoming game was. So yeah, we want to try to build up some more regional rivalries. We also these pods are games where it's a little easier for the away fans to travel with their teams.
Yeah.
Because we want to
We want this to make sense.
we want this to make sense the best we can, but also we do want to be able to give a diverse content. We're gonna
Yeah.
have 4 teams in the Pacific time zone. We're 3 in the Pacific, and then Hawaii on island time.
Hawaii, yeah.
And then we're gonna have 4 teams in the Mountain time zone, and we're gonna have 4 teams in the Central time zone.
Central time zone, and they are in this hypothetical. It's Northern Illinois.
Well, so that gets us to our last pod.
Yeah.
Right now, we only have one school in the Midwest pod, and that is NIU. So we got 3 spots that we want to fill.
Who are you bringing in?
Well, let me go through tiers. I got a tier list.
Tiers in heaven, Terrence.
This is the first tier. This is the if everyone else says no tier. So if everybody else you come to first says no, then you go to Ball State in Indiana.
Alma mater of Dave Letterman.
Alma mater of Dave Letterman. Facilities.
They do have a good broadcasting program. That'll be good. I'm sure they have a fine press box. Yeah.
Look, their facilities are okay. They're decent.
Muncie, Indiana.
Yes.
Ball State. Yeah. Okay.
Geography wise, it makes sense. They are a natural rival to NIU, and that's pretty much all they got going for them. In my mind, is that they are a rival to NIU, a traditional rival from the MAC, and I am trying to build a conference that is built on rivalries and local traditions. But that's where Ball State's momentum stops there.
So that's our
this is our if everybody else says no tier. So you got Ball State. These are our backup schools, yes. Okay. And then you got Sam Houston.
Sam Houston, okay.
Throwing Sam Houston in there. Facilities aren't quite up to par, but they are investing in it. They're making upgrades to their stadiums. Their program. They've been at the FBS level for 3 years now. Last year was pretty good. This year's been pretty rocky. First year was pretty rocky, so it's been kind of up and down. But if you look at their FCS tradition, it is a school that it has a strong winning tradition. They have a base that wants to win. They want to invest money. But honestly, the biggest thing they have going for them is it's in Texas. Yeah. Do you want to get in Texas?
Yes.
Yes, you do. And they're right there on the if everyone says no list. But honestly, if you expand past 12, they're definitely moving up in that list. My second tier, I'd ask, but they'll probably say no. I think there's 2 conferences that you'll probably easily be able to poach.
MAC
Conference USA and the MAC.
Yeah. And the MAC because they don't want to play during the week. It's a nightmare.
They don't want to play in the week.
It's a nightmare scheduling. It's a nightmare for classes. It's a nightmare for fans.
The teams hate it. The fans hate it. The schools really do hate it, but it's the only time they can get paid money. So any of those schools, if they get a chance to play their games on a Saturday or a Friday or a Thursday on a regular basis, they're going to jump, especially if it means a little bit more money. So these are the schools I have in the I'd ask, but they'd probably say no, and that's because they are in the Sun Belt. And out of the other conferences, I think the Sun Belt probably is the most stable, and the payout will probably be a little bit more in the Mountain West. But if you're only a football only school and it's partial payout, how much more is it really? Is it really worth it to you? But I'd still put out a feeler to La Tech, who's just now on their way there. Just because they've been down,
in the WAC.
They've been down the last few years, but they do have a pretty strong tradition in football. They have some pretty nice facilities for Group of 5, and like you said, they've been in the WAC for a long time. They have a lot of ties.
Nevada was in a conference with them.
They have a lot of ties with those schools, but I do think that they're probably going to be pretty happy where they're going. They're about to be in a conference that really makes sense for them regionally. All of their games,
so La Tech probably says no.
La Tech probably says no. Arkansas State probably says no, but I would send out a feeler to Arkansas State. Geography makes sense. They have excellent facilities. A lot of people don't know that they really do have excellent facilities, and they have a fan base that does want to invest.
Red Wolf. Shout out Red Wolves.
Yeah. And then my last one, last tier before I get to the eventual winners of this, the buy low and bet on the future school, Missouri State.
Okay.
It's more a geography play. They would make a perfect geographical rival to Northern Illinois, the Illinois-Missouri rivalry. It runs deep. Now, Missouri State is new to FBS football. This is their first year, I believe. They're in Conference USA. They're actually having a pretty good year, 5-3. They have some pretty decent facilities. They have a fan base that really wants this team to be good on the FBS level. It's kind of odd. You look at their FCS history; they're kind of just average. They really weren't world beaters at the FCS level, but that is one where you're buying low and you're betting on the future of that school. You're betting that they're going to continue to grow at a high rate. But these are the three schools that I think are all gettable.
Okay.
They all add to your quantity. And a couple of these schools, I think, really add to your quality.
And I'll point out your pods are all in discrete time zones, which
Yes.
I hate to concede this is important for your content strategy, specifically television programming.
Yes. So these first two schools that I'm putting in the Midwest pod with NIU, they're kind of a package deal. They're longtime rivals. And oddly enough, the Pack played both of them this year. I'm adding Western Kentucky and Middle Tennessee. Now, Western Kentucky, you're probably saying, well, Western Kentucky, why Western Kentucky? Bowling Green.
A good building. We enjoyed the facilities.
Yes, their facilities are fantastic, especially for the G5 level. And while they might not be in the biggest region of the country, they are what I call a quality ad. Western Kentucky is a solid football program. They've been a solid football program for a long time. The Mountain
near
West,
Nashville.
Yes. Well, that's Middle Tennessee. That's
excuse
Tennessee.
me. Sorry.
Yeah.
I got confused.
So, but actually, they're not too far from
actually,
Nashville
no.
either.
I flew into Nashville.
They're both pretty close to Nashville.
Enough. Yeah.
So yeah, you want them because it is a quality play. They are a solid program. If you look over the last 10 years, they have a 12-win season. They have an 11-win season. So with Western Kentucky, we're bringing in their rival, Middle Tennessee. Now, Middle Tennessee, not so much the quality play. They do not have the history of winning that Western Kentucky has, but what they do have is the region. And they're in Murfreesboro, which is a part of the Nashville TV market. It's new territory for the Mountain West. It's a lot of eyeballs out there. I think those two, it's a natural rivalry. They're close to NIU. It all makes sense. And for the fourth team in this pod, they were kind of mentioned before when NIU came in. I would go back to them and see if they'd be interested, and that would be Toledo.
Toledo, I knew it. I love the Glass Bowl. Yes. We went there in 18. Nevada got beat like 63-40, but it was great. They love football in Toledo.
That's the school I would go for to round out my Midwest pod. They are a quantity and a quality play.
Love the Rockets.
Do you know they have their number one all-time winning percentage in MAC conference play?
Yeah. They're a serious program.
Dominated the MAC for a long time. They are a serious program.
They deserve to play on weekends.
They deserve to play on weekends. They have a fan base that will pack that stadium on weekends. Toledo. The
Glass Bowl's great.
Toledo, sneaky decent market. It's not New York, but it's not.
Detroit's right there.
Detroit's
you're from
right
Toledo.
There.
You're a Tigers fan.
Yeah. Yes. So, good market, good facilities, strong tradition.
All right. So, Terrence, zoom out because we're running out of time here. You're proposing for football only a 12-team Mountain West that has a pod in the Pacific area with Hawaii and Nevada and San Jose State and UNLV, a
Yes.
mountain pod with Air Force and Wyoming and New Mexico and UTEP,
Yes.
and then a hypothetical expansion for a central time zone pod that includes current member or future member NIU, and then
And these schools would all be football
all
only.
be in that. Yeah, and this is football only. And so you have 3 discrete 4-team pods where you play your pod members every year, and then everything else rotates.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'll make sure to send this right away to Commissioner Navarez.
And last part. So that puts us at 12 football schools. We still have 10 basketball schools. I want to get up to 12 basketball schools. I'm going to make this real quick. In Northern California, we got 1 Cal State school. We got 1 UC school. We're going to match that, and we're going to mirror it in Southern California with UC Irvine and Long Beach State. And that gets you up to 12 teams football, 12 teams non-football, and you still got your core 8 all-sport members.
Well, we'll tie a ribbon on this one. Terrence Newman.
Call me Gloria Alvarez. I'll send you an email. I'll type it up. I'll make it look pretty.
Get a PowerPoint deck. All right.
Yeah.
Terrence will be on the sidelines tomorrow. We get going at 11:30. Come see George Choate and me play music at 11 and the Bud Light Tailgate's on. This is Beyond the Booth. Peace.